Well, in China, he's remembered as a hero. In Denmark, almost no one knew his name. Bernhard Arp Sindberg was a sailor, a legionnaire. And in 1937, he saved thousands of Chinese lives from Japan's invading army. Now, years later, his own country is finally starting to tell his remarkable story. Our correspondent Pablo Gutierrez reports.
For Bernhard Arp Sindberg, every picture is a reminder. Her uncle, Bernhard Arp Sindberg, looked like any other young man. But in 1937, everything changed. Sindberg was just 26 years old, working at a Danish cement factory on the edge of Nanjing in China, when Japan's invading army brought terror to the city.
Well, a lot of fugitives that needed rescue from the Japanese, because they went berserk, and they just, the
atrocities.
Yeah, the atrocities were rather heavy, right? It was disaster.
Sindberg grew up here in a working part of Aarhus. Restless and drawn to the sea, he worked as a sailor before joining the French Foreign Legion, but it was far from home in China, where his courage was tested. Looking for work and adventure, he first spent time in Shanghai as a driver for a British reporter before being hired to guard the new cement plant in Nanjing. At the time, only a few hundred Danes lived in all of China.
They were opening doors that otherwise were closed, and they made it a safe haven where people could come in and was just guarding them against the Japanese and all these horrible attacks.
Inside the compound, families found food, water, even a small hospital. Outside, Sindberg stood his ground against soldiers with nothing more than a Danish flag.
I feel humble of the fact that he was able to rescue, had the courage to rescue that many people. I think it makes me speechless.
Historians say Sindberg kept guard for 6 weeks and saved more than 20,000 people. When the war ended, he left China and went back to Denmark. That courage was finally recognized in 2019 when Denmark raised a statue in his hometown to honor him.
What he did was heroic. He risked his life in order to save innocent human beings. So not only as a Dane or as a citizen of Aarhus, but as a human being, I'm proud of what he achieved and what he did.
Today, his statue stands as a bridge between two nations and a symbol of courage.
I think it's crucial to retell his story, because sadly the world hasn't changed that much since then. We still see atrocities, we still see people being persecuted, people being killed. And in my opinion, I would say the world needs people like Sindbergs, as many as possible.
Marian says she's proud. Denmark now calls her uncle a hero, and she'll keep telling his story so it's never forgotten. Because what he did in Nanjing, she says, shows us something rare, that even in the darkest moments, one ordinary person can make a life-saving difference and set a shining example for others. Pablo Gutierrez, CGTN, Aarhus, Denmark.